Good morning, folks. So today we're taking a look at our friend Sombra. He's currently a D1 player on EU West. He's trying to make the push to Diamond, and he's really been struggling with like ADC counter matchups. Now, one thing I will say right off the bat, what I have personally found to be most successful in ADC counter matchups is not going. So he's going the scaling setup. It was pioneered by Alados, and the whole idea of this setup is it makes Kassadin feel like a really, really strong late game champ again at level 16. You basically just never miss waves. You only go to man advantage plays. Um, take sorcery for Axiom Arcanist, which allows you to, if you can get a blasting wand first base, it allows you to one-shot casters with your Ian ult at level 7. Gathering Storm for scaling. Transcendence is good. Ares just the best keystone for Kassadin, unless you want to go Phase Rush, but the extra damage is nice on Aerie. And then Sudden Impact and Ultimate Hunter. So this is a full scaling setup. In these sorts of matchups, I personally, and I know you're not going to like this, I have had the most success adapting my build and going Malignant's First Strike. And the reason is because they're going to get ahead of you early, right? It's just the nature of these matchups. Better to have damage and make the matchup a little bit sharper. So if they make a mistake, you could really get a window to punish them, right? But he's laning versus Lucian here, and the mindset in this matchup, like I want you to understand, as a Kassadin one trick, there are some games we're not really supposed to win. Your job is just to make it as hard as possible. Excuse me. Um, it's just to make it as hard as possible for him to win, right? And what I mean by that is want to do things like denying PTA procs. You want to not get hit by his Q. You want to soak XP. And just accept the fact that you're going to go down some resources. Like, a lot of Kassadins really, really... Their biggest issue is instead of just giving, like, a couple, like, 10, 15 CS, they die and then give 10, 15 CS. They try and go for it. Now, this game starts off horrendously. Like, absolute disaster game. Level 1, the Udyr gets 2 kills, and the Lucian gets a kill. Right? So just right off the rip, and Lucian gets 2 assists as well. I want to be abundantly clear. You were playing one of the worst matchups in the game, and your opponent got 1 kill, level 1, 2 assists. Arguably, this is like a scheduled loss. Like, I'm just going to be real with you. Sometimes, and one of the important things that I'm struggling with climbing is there are some games that you just don't win. And it's not really worth that effort to put all that energy into it. That being said, I'll still try and help you because you asked specifically for help with laning. Alright, let's see what Admiral Trench does to you. So the most painful part of a Lucian lane, or one of the most painful parts, is the level 1, because a lot of times they like to stand like psychos right as the minions die up here, and then they'll just dash on your face and proc PTA. He has PTA, right? I didn't see. Yeah. So the good news is he's not going an aggressive summoner, which means in the late game you'll be able to kill him. Uh, okay, this guy's not even playing well. Shouldn't have. The fact that you just got 2 free CS without taking autos is good for you. I mean, honestly, you're just giving this guy too much respect, bro. This guy's like a screen away, and you're not even threatening to take these minions. What? Okay, now he's starting to walk up because he has level advantage. Oh. So you have to play off of how he's positioning, right? And if you look here, he's very aggressive, right? Here, he's hitting the wave. Then for some reason he's pulling this minion to Narnia, right? So that's your opportunity. Once he starts hitting the wave and he's back there, you can start kind of walking forward. Obviously, if he presses forward on you, then you just give the CS. But you have to test him. Here, you're walking forward, you're testing him, right? Which I think is good. But he's passing the test now. He's starting to walk forward. And at this point, it's really not worth to give 30% HP for one minion. Also, I would rather hit him and the minion here. Like, I know you don't want to push the wave, but you already have a minion advantage. It doesn't really matter. The wave's going to push into you no matter what. Do you have a minion? Wait, what happened with the casters? Why does he only have 2 casters? Oh no. 2 of the caster minions are just inside each other. That's weird. I've never seen that before, like, unironically. But yeah, you want to at least trade some damage back, right? So if you position your E like this, you're going to hit him and the minions and slow him, so he can't chase you, and he's going to be stuck with the minions aggroed onto him, right? But, I mean, it's still not worth. You take 50% of your HP for legit 1 melee minion. And this guy's kind of giving you the lane on a silver platter. He's perma pushing. Don't walk up for those CS. Good job. Wait, where you really run into trouble in this matchup. Yeah. Where you really run into trouble in this matchup is when he makes the decision to slow push into you on repeat, or freeze the wave on his side. So honestly, okay, that was a bad cue. Yeah, that was a bad cue. You don't need to tell me. You're a D1 player. You don't need me to tell you that was a bad cue. Of course, I'm also the king of missing CS like that. Okay, now this is like a Lucian specific thing. What ability does Lucian max and poke with? His Q, right? So what does that mean? We don't want to stand in a straight line, the minions. Look at how we're standing, right? He doesn't position it correctly. Like, you want to be like here. Never want to stand in your minions. Because you make it easy for him to land Qs on you if he's good. Okay? Just give the CS, I guess? I'm confused. We have something pulled up on the second monitor. Uh, your E's up. If he trades onto you right now, he's going to get slowed under tower and take a tower shot at E range. These matchups are so annoying. Okay, beautiful. He ruined his wave. This is what I mean by this Lucian's not good. Like, he could zone you from XP. We're missing, like, a lot of CS that he's giving us, right? Because we're not even threatening to walk up and take it. Gotta be in XP range. I don't know exactly what XP range is, right? But you have to look when minion waves are fucked up like this and you have minions on casters. You do want to at least threaten to walk forward and be in XP range. Looks like he's gonna try and dash on you if you do that, but I want to pretend, right? The one, like, saving grace about Lucian is he has very mana hungry if you get him to dash and Q constantly. And then he becomes super gankable. Good job. That was very good. Good job. I'm waiting for your E. E and then Q that one. No? Oh, you. Okay. You want to minimize the time, so What you have to do here, this minion you cannot get, just with the HPs of the way things are. You're going to take too much damage. So your best bet for minimizing the amount of damage you're going to take is to E and then Q this one. See? Look, that's the one that's low enough to kill. I can see you're trying to get all of them, but you take too much damage, and you let him proc PTA. That's the issue there. Kassadin in these matchups, like, you really need to understand what minions you can and cannot get. And just give the minions that are too high HP. Nope, you cannot walk forward, because if you use Q, if he's good, he will just throw out R on you. He's 6. I guess he couldn't there because of the wave. Somehow, despite everything, we do make it to a blasting wand first base. Don't push. Okay. It's not. Okay, so this Lucian is really terrible. Like, I just want to be clear. Okay, remember what I said earlier? Worst thing you can do versus a Lucian is stand, unless you like want are doing it intentionally because you want him to make the lane push faster. Stand in the wave and take damage. Pointless. We're also just Wing there. You want to E because you know he's gonna auto you. You really have to use in these matchups. You have to use the minions to your advantage. This guy's not good. This guy clearly cannot pilot his champion. Not good positioning. Bruh. What a... Here. I mean, the lane was in a fine state until we just face tank 3 Qs. Like, obviously, if you get hit by every single Lucian Q, you're going to lose the lane, right? So that's one. So the Q does 157, and then that's 200 damage we just took. Or, 100 damage just took from 2 autos, so we took 250 damage there. One more auto, plus a PTA proc, that was another 200 damage. And for some reason, we're standing through the minions, giving him like the freest Q of his life. Then we go back in the minions. Brother. Now we're cooked. Nope, you cannot use Q. So in this lane, especially when we're this low, you can never use Q like this, because you then cannot walk up. A good Lucian, I mean, I guess you have R right now, so it doesn't really matter. But then if you walk in range of these CS, like a really good Lucian player, just throw out his R if he sees that your Q's on CD. That's like your only defense aside from your R. Cool base. Shit. Yeah, I agree with this base. This is my favorite thing to do as a Kassadin player in the early game. Ult forward, ult forward. Slow. Nope, do not use your Q. Dude, I swear to God, this Lucian's terrible. I don't know. Just general rule of thumb when you're fighting Lucian, your Q does like piss damage in the early game because you don't put points in it. And when you don't have R, it's your only defense against his R. I've been traumatized too many times by randomly just getting like 100 to 0 Lucian ulted. So my recommendation to you would be just like a small tweak. It's similar to, oh, beautiful. He used his, okay, so here's the thing, right? We're at a point now where we have a little bit of AP, we have a little bit of HP. Kind of want to test him and see how he's going to play it. You also just got to kill. When he's using Q on the wave and then he double shots this minion, I would ult on this minion, E. EQ, walk back. Okay. So see how close this trade is, right? See how close this is. I mean, obviously he does more damage because he's completed his first item, right? He has more CS, and his champion's good into you, right? But he also had to use his Q to do this. Imagine if we jumped on him, right here after he missed his Q, right? And you don't jump directly on his head. You ult on that minion to get the CS, and then you get these two with your E. So you ult, EQ, walk back, you use your minions to body block, and then you walk out of the wave as his Q is coming off CD. Dude, the like you have like a mental block for standing in minions or something versus Lucian. It's crazy. God, brother. Brother. And this is why I like going Malignants versus these champions, because it makes the matchup very sharp once you get a kill. You can see you put gold into HP and it kind of like does nothing. You're still getting whooped by him. And you're still gonna get whooped by him with Malignants. It just makes it so he fucks up. Like it's a lot quicker and easier to capitalize on it. Right, his TP's coming up. I would still shove this wave. Bruh. Hate this champion so much. Do not walk forward. Lucian, you want to ping off this gank. The reason you want to ping off this gank is because Udyr is mid. I mean, I don't see everyone's items. I haven't really been paying attention to what else has been going on the map. But I'm pretty sure Udyr is mid. Brother, what is this Lucian doing? Legit just doesn't use his abilities or his sums. Like, has he flashed? You might be playing against the worst Lucian player I've ever seen. And I've seen them do some questionable things. I think it's fine to base here. I would not go top. You need to base. 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 Fuck are we doing? Gonna be in tempo jail and lose mid tower. My god, what are we doing? Okay, mid tower's gone. Not worth at all. Great, you got a kill, but you burn your flash and lost mid tower. GG. God. brother. What the fuck? And that sequence of events is completely your fault. Like, what do we know here? Maybe this is just like not thinking and you're seeing overextended kill. But like, gosh. What do we know in this situation, right? We know he's up in 5 seconds. All he is going to want to do is come back and still try and keep punishing you, right? His champion is still good versus you, even though you have 2 kills. You just got to plate. So even though he was ahead of you, you've kind of equalized the position because you have 2 kills. You're relatively strong. You can kind of trade back with him a little bit. But like, we just see this kill top, right? They're both 100% HP. There's no objective to get off of it. This just like doesn't make any sense. I get what you're. I guess maybe this is like the man advantage play thing. Like I do this too sometimes. I like see the jungler show bot. I know I got to kill mid, and I'm like, oh, the correct response is to do something on the opposite side of the map. But literally, the best thing you can do for the game, in my opinion, right here, is just base and come back to keep this mid tower alive, right? Because the thing that's gonna happen, obviously, excuse me, the mid tower is already low, but you want to keep it alive for as long as possible. Because what's going to happen is you're going to switch mid with Ashe and Thresh, and they're just going to get ran down by Udyr, Lucian, Draven, Thresh in the mid and late game. Because they have no tower to sit behind. So you're like making Lucian's job super easy. Like, yeah, kill dopamine feels good, whatever. But your job is to keep that mid tower alive for as long as possible in this matchup. Tabbies are. I hope we go tabbies this game. They're so good. Whoa, what happened? So now we deploy bot. And honestly, I mean, I don't know if you got. I think you said you win this game somehow. No, you lose this game. Uh, I wouldn't worry too much about this stuff at this point. So there's a couple things, right? So one, obviously the level 1 is terrible. That shit happens. In this game, like I'm not saying I would be checked out, but I wouldn't really be worried about what happens for the rest of the game. Like it kind of makes sense. You're in a counter matchup versus Lucian, and it's you want to have the mindset of like, I'm probably going to lose this game. I just want to make it as hard as possible for them. You know what I mean? Now, that being said, this Lucian was fucking terrible. And there were a lot of points where you gave CS that you could have got, and then you went for CS that you're not allowed to get, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not a big fan of E starting unless. Oh, you E started because of the invade. Never mind. So I E start a lot, but I usually don't do it until I see the minions dying. That's what I was going to say. So, like, walking up to auto this, doing a good job testing him, right? You know his Q's on CD, you know he's back here. Playing a fucking screen away from you, and you do a good job respecting the fact that he's going to hit level 2 on the first wave, right? But now we're doing this thing where, I don't know, in the early game we did a really, really good job of not standing in the wave. And it was like, after our first base, we just like forgot. Like here, I don't know why we're walking. We're happy to get EXP on this. If we do want to go for it, we want to make sure we hit Lucian as well, so we're doing some damage to him. Like we're taking half our HP for one minion. Then I think it's here he does the weird crash. Right? Anytime you see Lucian walk back super far, you want to at least threaten to walk up. Because what you can do a lot is make them, I mean, their E is not the most expensive ability, but you can make them like burn their E because they try and get in range from you, or get in range of you, and it just helps like burn mana. This guy, not very good at managing his mana. Job. Then I'm trying to see. His W also like is really important to dodge. That shit makes his autos hit like a truck. Okay. this is really good for you because you don't let him proc PTA, you don't take a Q, you dodge his W, so he burns a ton of mana, but he makes the wave push into you. Trying to talk. Trying to figure out, like, where was it? There's a sequence. It's okay, here. This is where you, like, really, really lose the lane, right? All things considered, this Lucian plays it pretty bad up to this point, and you play it pretty, like, decently well, right? This Lucian is not very good. I want to reiterate that. Or he's not playing very well. And then it's like we forget how his abilities work, and we forget that we have a blast. Like, we're still going to take damage from him, a lot of damage, if we get hit by his Q. Ability puts points in. So we get hit by a Q, 2 autos for some reason, and we don't trade anything back. You want to E. If he trades autos like that onto you, you want to E ult away. Right? Then we walk up. Look at how he's positioning, right? You need to play this game with Lucian where you're not standing, like, if he's on the other side of the minion wave, you don't stand directly across from him. You can do it, because a lot of times they're going to look for Qs. But, like, this right here is where the lane gets fucked. Like, it's an end of review mistake. You got hit by 3 Qs in a row that were completely, like, completely dodgeable. Should have just ulted there. Or I would have considered it if I were him. Because, beautiful. That being said, Thresh almost ints and it bails you out. And then you just get bailed out by your team on repeat. Like, that's basically what the rest of this is. This J4 completely bails you out. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. He could kill you, like, I'm pretty sure. Make it closer. I guess he's Ult E right there. Hold your Q until later in the combo. That's the other thing, like Lucian specific. Whatever. We do good here. We base, we buy, we come back to lane. Fine with your purchase. What happened here? Okay. Ult E. So his E is Q is a relatively short cooldown, but you want to think of Lucian. He does play similarly to a mage, where you can punish his Q cooldown and take really short trades, right? And the advantage of your E is it's a 90% slow, so it helps you disengage these fights. I would have ulted away to proc sudden impact. Kind of cooked here. Now this sequence right here is really bad for you. And it ends up being good because Udyr doesn't sit mid. But, like, we just saw Udyr clear your bot vision. We saw Udyr right here. And then we see Lucian, when he's running, he starts running towards this side of the lane. I would be pinging this gank off, personally. And he can legit flash away. Like, if this Lucian, like, used any of his abilities on the J4, and if he just EWQs, he can E-flash away. And he's pretty much fine. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. And this sequence right here is, like, game losing. So again, one of the most important objectives in these matchups is to keep your tower as healthy as possible. You can get through laning phase keeping your tower up, it's like a huge win for you. Like a huge win, right? And what do we do here? This is what ruins the game. Your roam top, like, yay, you get a kill, whatever. You have to be more patient with your ult there. Because it's so high. It's really important that it hits. You're going to waste a lot of time. But it's like, okay, we got a kill, but we burned our flash, don't get anything off of it, and we lose mid tower. Right here, this is when I started screaming, take a base, 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 base. You need to base. is you need to be on this mid wave. So, yeah, that's my biggest suggestion for you in this matchup. So one, try to keep your tower as healthy as possible. Use your abilities to like minimize the time that you're exposed to last hitting, right? And like just don't do stupid roams in these matchups. It's like one of the worst things you can do. Really need to play greedy and play for yourself. But yeah, I hope that helps. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and have a wonderful day.